Today, we're diving into Atomic Habits, the best-selling book that makes a pretty bold claim that tiny, almost invisible changes can lead to absolutely remarkable results. And believe it or not, the whole idea starts with one single terrifying moment. And this isn't some hypothetical scenario. This is the real-life moment that shaped the entire book. You see, the author, James Clear, was a high school athlete when a classmate's bat accidentally slipped and struck him directly in the face. The impact was just devastating. I mean, the bat smashed into his face with so much force that it caused multiple complex fractures all across his skull. His eye sockets were completely shattered, and in just a fraction of a second, his future in baseball, and frankly, even his ability to see clearly, was thrown into serious doubt. It gets worse. His brain started to swell dangerously. It triggered repeated seizures, and to save his life, doctors had absolutely no choice but to place him in a medically induced coma. And his recovery? Wow, it was this long, painful grind. After months of rehab just to learn how to walk in a straight line again, he finally returned to baseball a year later, only to get cut from the team. A totally humiliating blow. But it was in college, starting from rock bottom, that he discovered the only way forward was through small, consistent habits. And 6 years later, those tiny habits compounded into something incredible. He was named an academic All-American, one of the top student athletes in the entire country. So this whole journey from a near-death experience to elite performance, it revealed the foundational idea of atomic habits. There wasn't one big defining moment of success. It was thousands of tiny ones. He realized the only choice he had was to start small. So he asked himself a question. What if you just aimed to get 1% better every single day? Now, get ready for this, because the math behind that 1% idea is absolutely staggering. If you get 1% better each day for a year, you don't just get 365% better. Because of compounding, you end up almost 38 times better. But here's the scary part. Look at the flip side. Getting just 1% worse each day brings you down to basically zero. It's a powerful reminder that the small habits, they really, really matter. And that right there, that is the core concept of the whole book. Success isn't the result of some massive overnight transformation. Nope, it's the product of your daily habits. It's just like money multiplying with compound interest. The effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them day in and day out. But let's be real for a second. We've all been there, right? You're putting in the work, you're staying consistent, but the results just aren't showing up. It feels like you're completely stuck. So what's really going on there? To explain this, Clear uses this perfect metaphor. I want you to just imagine an ice cube sitting on a table in a really cold room. Now, very, very slowly, the room begins to warm up. The temperature rises 1 degree, then another, then another. You've been putting in all this work, right? But you look at the ice cube, and it's still just an ice cube. It looks exactly the same. No visible progress whatsoever. And then it hits 32 degrees. And that single 1 degree shift, which seems no different than all the ones before it, unlocks this massive change. See, the melting wasn't caused by that final degree. It was the result of all the work that came before it. This is what Clear calls the plateau of latent potential. It's such a great phrase, isn't it? All your hard work isn't being wasted. It's just being stored. It's like that stonecutter hammering a rock 100 times with nothing to show for it. It's not the 101st blow that finally breaks the rock. It was all 100 that came before it. So the crucial question is, how do we break through that plateau? Well, Clear argues we need to do something radical. Forget about goals and focus on systems instead. See, goals are about the result you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. Think about it. Winners and losers often have the exact same goals. It's the system that makes all the difference. This quote just nails it. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If you want better results, you have to stop focusing on the scoreboard and start focusing on what your team does at practice every single day. The score will take care of itself. So how do you actually build these better systems? Well, Clear gives us this simple but incredibly powerful 4-step framework. First, you have to make it obvious. You can't start a habit if you don't even see the cue.
Second, make it attractive. You're just way more likely to do something if you actually want to do it. Third, make it easy. Reduce the friction, make starting effortless. And finally, number 4, make it satisfying. You've got to reward yourself immediately to close that loop and make you want to do it again. This is the practical engine for change. But here's where things get really profound. The biggest concept in Atomic Habits goes even deeper than our actions. It's not about what you get or even what you do. The deepest level of change is about what you believe. It's about your identity.
You see, true, lasting behavior change isn't just about achieving an outcome. It's about becoming someone. When your habits are actually part of your identity, you'll stick with them for good. The real goal is to become a runner, or a writer, or a musician, not just to complete a single task. So how does this transformation actually happen? Well, Clear's idea is that every single action you take is like casting a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you write a page, you cast a vote for, I am a writer. Every time you go to the gym, you cast a vote for, I am an athletic person. These tiny little habits are the evidence that builds your new identity. And you know what? This isn't some complex psychological overhaul. It really just boils down to a super simple 2-step process. First, you decide who you want to be. And second, you prove it to yourself with small, consistent wins. You literally become your habits. So that leaves us with one final, really powerful question. Every single day, your habits are casting votes for your future self. The only question is, who are you voting to become?